All right, so using the handmade paints that I created, we're going to do a little bit of a test out. This first portion is going to be testing these out with just regular paintbrushes. I made 4 different ones. I plan to make more, so stay tuned for that. But right now I have coffee and a marker that's being sitting in water. I've got some ginger and lemon tea, and I have matcha green tea. As of right now, the ginger and lemon tea and then the black marker hasn't been sitting in the water for very long, maybe 2 hours. So the ginger and lemon tea, that's pretty much as dark as it's going to get, but the black marker, the longer I let that sit, and I'm talking like overnight or over a few days, the more pigment is going to come out on your paper. So in this first test, it's actually quite light and you can barely see it. But it does get a little darker. All of these do. They all get a little bit darker when it dries. So testing out the coffee first. I love that color. It is my favorite non-traditional paint to use. And the black marker, very light. This Crayola black marker has a lot of green in it for some reason. So it's not pure black, but as the days go on, when I test this out again, it'll be much darker. Now the ginger and lemon tea is basically just like very light and not much color at all, but good for backgrounds. All right, the next one I'm going to test is the matcha tea, and it's very light. It is green. It's like a forest green. It's very light. It doesn't read very well on the camera. And it looks a little brownish, but it does dry like a nice light forest green. Alright, so here's what the dried version looks like. Alright, now I'm going to try these paints that I just made with the brushes that I made previously. So I'm going to test all of these brushes with the instant coffee. Please check back to the other videos for how I actually made these brushes. But since we're testing out paints, I thought it would be cool to, and just as fine, to put these tests in this video. So all of these brushes are going to be doing the coffee. This brush is actually one of my favorites. It's just a leaf that I clipped off from one of my, from what I had in my garden. But I love the texture that it puts on there. So that was one of my favorites. This one I had high hopes for. It did not do dots like I thought it would. I guess it was too close together or something. But they kind of look like cool textures. All right, the next few I'm gonna go ahead and speed up even faster than I already have. So here comes the speed round. Now, of course, with all of these, I did take my time and really try to do as many different variations of using the nature-made paintbrushes. This one's kind of cool. It's just a stick, but it writes really well and splatter paints nicely. I thought this would be more like a pen, and it kind of works, but it's a little thick, and it drips at the very beginning of what you do. This little elf's ear, some people call them rabbit's ears. They're very fuzzy. This one's just a little bit of weeds packed together. Not my favorite, but they work. They work for a nice texture. Bob Ross style. Just some happy little trees. All right. Paper number 3. This is what grass looks like when it it gets too tall. And I have this really spiky tree, and so I cut some of these off and got hurt in the process, but it's pretty cool. All right, test page number 4. Now this one was really cool. It really did seem like a fancy pen because I put like a brush handle on the inside, but it didn't work out that well. I was disappointed. This one was really nice because it gave you like a lot of drippy drops and then feathered out after a little while. And that's the end. Happy testing. All right, you guys go out and test your brushes, and I'll see you later.